am back, guys. Still working on the Eros series, but you know, I be here and there. I be in and out doing different things. So you just gotta work with me. But Eros and Venus. And I saw somebody, by the way, mention, can I talk about series? And yes, I can. And yes, I will. Another asteroid. But Eros and Venus. Eros and Venus is, and if you have not watched the Eros Sun conjunction that I did Eros and Sun, I did Eros and Moon. And there was definitely a difference. And with Eros and Venus, there's a difference as well. I myself, now Eros and Venus could be good, especially in certain planets. I'm sorry, in certain signs or whatever. And I really do like the Eros and Sun conjunction because the natural person, you know, like the personality of a person and the approach in life is particularly attractive and desired between the two. And that's why I like it. It's, you know, kind of self-explanatory. Eros and Venus, I will say, you know, even after doing so much research on just Eros in general and just like stuff that I come across online, you know, I see how Eros is going to look at as like this soulmate connection and blase, which is okay. I get it, I understand, but at the same time, I am just kind of the type of person that I just believe that a soulmate can be just about anybody. Or not anybody, but I'm saying a soulmate could come, does not have to be just one person or one individual in our lives. Because just imagine, you know, coming across another individual with certain placements that we have. But I will say that if we look at the design of this all, and even us, you know, having some control, not all, because I'm the type of person, I believe God, I believe like the higher order, Mother God, however you want to put it, Father God, Spirit, the higher order of things does have the control, because that entity body is able to grasp, understand, comprehend that in which we don't see at this level. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of like a baby. Is a baby non-human or unintelligent because it's a baby, and there's a lot of things that at the level that the baby is at in this creation, you know, does it make it unintelligent because there's things that it can't do for itself just yet? And this is why we put the parent or some sort of guardian in the position to be able to see these things, to help the baby, feed the baby, etc. Right? Until the baby gets into that place of knowing for itself. Now, I don't want to go off on a tangent here because I could do that on just like a regular talk conversation video. But what I'm trying to say is that that's just kind of like how I look at a lot of these dynamics. You know, like even with spirit, yes, spirit would know a lot about the plan that we put in place, because when we come in, we kind of get distracted and we get pulled off in these different directions. Therefore, we come across our soul tribes and people that we have these interactions with that is tied to the energy of these planets and things of that nature. So I get that. And so I'm not taking away from the soulmate experience, but what I am saying is I feel like it's slightly different in understand, like, well, in practice or application versus what people like to think or whatever. So, you know, just like keeping that in mind. Eros and Venus, you know, or me doing that research on Eros, it does say a lot about Eros and Venus, you know, being of like this soulmate aspect. The two people do feel like this this acquaintance with each other that's hard to resist. And I agree, because if we look at Eros for its representation, it definitely is our desire. It's what we long for a lot of times. It is what we naturally are. Our natural actions, you know, like I get Mars is there, you know, but Mars can be a little bit more conscious. Eros could be more of a subconscious. Okay. So with Eros and Venus together, yes, the Eros individual is definitely going to be subconsciously aroused, attracted to the Venus person's love style, the Venus person's qualities. This could be like the taste. This could be foods. This could be foods. But, I'm sorry, I'm shaking the camera. The taste, the aesthetic in which the Venus person exudes itself. So let's say taste and foods. They could, and I feel like they could learn off of each other too. Because Eros would be attracted enough to open themselves up to be like, okay, well, you know what, the Venus person, I don't usually eat this type of food. I'm not really acquainted with this culture, but at the same time, I'm interested in it. I desire to know about it. I am turned on, and my, you know, like my imagination is sparked, or my creation is sparked, like that flame. My passion is sparked. That's the word I want to use. And I'm curious about this person. You know, so there's this learning style. And Venus could definitely be at its top game and confidence when interacting with the Eros person, because the Eros person is naturally in tune or attuned with what, you know, what the Venus person is exuding, their aspirations. I shouldn't say the reason why I say aspirations is because I feel like Venus has a lot to do with is directly connected to our natural aspiration, or our aspirations, whatever that may be. I shouldn't say natural, but our aspirations. If you think about it in a sense of, we fund what it is that we're interested in. We fund our aesthetics, our beauty, materially. And Venus could be material. And Venus desires partnership, so Venus sees Eros as an individual that is in tune with that. It's like, okay, yeah, you know, my passions, my desires, I can live this, I can do this through partnership, because I have someone, I don't have to do this by myself. I have someone else that is also interested in what that is, what that looks like, who I am. That's good. So here we have two individuals that is engulfed, passionately engulfed in partnership. Yes, you can see this in two people that are non-romantic. Let's just put it this way, and they can go hang out, and they can kick it, and they can do things together, and they can enjoy themselves. You know. But you can also see this in, well, yeah, this is what we're talking about, Synastry. What we're talking about, we can see this romantically as well, where we have these two individuals that they're in a relationship where they like each other, or they're dating, whatever, but they have like this partnership vibe, to where it's like they enjoy helping each other, they enjoy doing things together, they seem better with each other. You know, because we can take two people's individual passions and join them together and become stronger here. And this could be something that is a flame that's very hard to put out. It's a connection that's very hard to put out. And because of it, okay, what helps tie them together is, well, we got this partnership, and it's relating to each other, and it could be fun, it could be passionate. Yeah, we can have these heated arguments and disagreements, but at the same time, we can make up, you know, have makeup relations, sexual relations that kind of fix all of that. So you can definitely see like a little bit of game plan with each other to feed off of each other's energy, to rev up those passions of desire. I will say this too, with Eros and Venus, yes, these two are definitely passionate about each other, that like physically passionate about each other. Eros wants to feel very close and connected to Venus, and through sharing in it, you know, Venus's lifestyle. However, even paying it, this is, you can see Eros even fund Venus and vice versa, because this is Venus partnerships. It can be either way, you know, depending on who's who in the relationship. But Eros will want to do it because it helps Eros feel connected and empowered by Venus. Like when Venus is empowered by who they are, what they represent, what they stand for, Eros then feels empowered as well. But it's a turn on, because Eros feels turned on by Venus, aroused by Venus, stimulated, should I say, by Venus. And it can be hard for Eros to stop touching Venus, to stop physically engaging in Venus. You know, Eros could see, even in Venus, let's just go here before we add any of this other stuff. Venus could, I want you guys to understand, Venus could naturally exist. Venus doesn't have to do all this extra stuff necessarily to get Eros' attention. But the fact that Venus is who it is, Venus, that usually will, whatever it is, you know, whatever the aesthetic is, whatever the material value is, the mannerisms, like I know that's connected to Mars, but I'm just saying like natural, the beauty, you know, the natural beauty, the add on, the makeup, the process of that. Yes, Venus could be just Venus, but Venus is Venus because it's operating as that, as Venus, if you get what I'm saying. Eros is attracted to that. Period. So you can get Venus dressing up, or in some lingerie or something, or, you know, in something Venusian nature, because I'm just like, okay, let me not get too like way out there. And Eros is wanting that, desiring it. So it can be very easy. No, it is very easy for Venus to turn Eros on. And Venus feels, I mean, this can make Eros feel confident too, because Eros is like, wow, like Venus, I don't care how else other people see Venus. Eros is like, wow, like I have this great person that loves me, that cares about me, that spends time with me, you know, that I have some sort of influence over. Like I am, this makes me feel proud, this makes me feel confident. And Venus is looking at it like in a confident way too, like, wow, Eros really desires me, and makes them feel even more confident. It makes them feel sexy, you know, makes them feel bomb. And these two have this natural attraction that even if they get into arguments, they have disagreements, they have difference in personalities and stuff like that, I'm not saying they will stay together forever, because it could be like some deal breakers, you know, depending on what life has thrown at them. But at the same time, it will be a person that within each other, they'll find in each other something that they really always desire, or long for. And they'll, I mean, even with intelligence and understanding of, well, we just couldn't be together, we just couldn't make it, whatever, it could still be a thing like, well, I mean, but look at this picture where, you know, they looking good still. Always knew how to get me. So, and yes, there's another side to this. Like I said, Eros and Venus can have very passionate arguments, when, especially like if jealousy arises. Jealousy arises, it can get heated, but it doesn't necessarily have to break them up. Or it could, if it's something that they just cannot agree upon. But yeah, this is a very spicy, sexy, engulfed, passionate connection and synastry aspect between two people. All right, so I'm gonna start right there because it's already been almost 15 minutes, y'all. But you know, I had to run my mouth at the beginning and drop a few, you know, gems and dimes and quarters and nickels here and there. You know what I'm saying? A few pennies. But as always, I will return. So remember, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Peace.